Hi guys, and welcome. Today is Mother's Day, so those of you who are watching, happy Mother's Day. So today, I just got off of work, and I have been feeling very, how do you say, like blasé. Like, It's not like a regular blah, it's more like, you know, like regular blahs are, I'm more like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's just how I've been feeling. And this point in my life, I would just have to say I feel like the reason why a lot of this is happening is because I have like a lot of stuff that I haven't been really talking about on social media been going on. And one of those things is the fact that my car, it's in an auto body shop, or it's in some type of lot in like Connecticut. So long story short, my friend borrowed my car, and my car was hit by an Uber Eats driver. And this has to be one of the top weirdest, worst experience of having a car in New York City, because it's just like, if not having a car in New York City wasn't exhausting enough, going through claims and insurance policies makes it 10 times worse. So the person who hit me, she's young. She was born in like 1990 something. Like, she's no older than 25, or what, like 22 something? I don't know. Anyway, so homegirl hits my car, and I was concerned about my friend. Like, he had his kids with him, he had his girl with him. I was like, damn, I hope they okay, oh my God. So they're pissed off. Guess what I was doing? I was having a paint and sip in my house by myself, doing my own thing. And I'm just like, yeah. I'm over here using the different types of watercolor that I have, because I have gouache, then I have Winsor & Newton, then I also have like some other types of brands. So the consistencies of paint are not the same. Then I started to venture off into acrylic paints, and I'm just like, acrylic, they say it's like watercolor, but it's more thick. I'm like, okay, I have a soft body. I don't know if I really like it. I might go for hard body, but I don't know. Anyway, so I'm over here trying out acrylic. I'm over here trying out my different types of watercolors, and I'm lit in my house. Like, I like how this feels. Feeling all dapper and pretty. Have like my art hat on, have my art mind on, and boom, my friend's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing, I'm in my house. I'm thinking automatically, he's in New York. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Get in my house. I put out some art stuff and I pour you a glass. He's like, no, you need to have a seat. I said, damn, you hit my car, didn't you? So in that mindset, I'm just like, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I have insurance. So he tells me, no, she hit you and it was her fault. I'm like, okay, but is everybody okay? Because you had the baby in the car. The baby's okay. So I'm like, okay, cool. Information. I'm drunk trying to figure out where my information is. I keep it in a house instead of the car, because I've had other experiences where like I need important information and the car is towed, or something just happens with the car and I'm not able to access. So I keep it in the house. You know, to me, I think that's smart, but that's whatever. So I gave her my information. That happened a couple of days ago, well, now weeks ago. And so after all this, the real problem starts coming with the representative from Liberty Mutual. So check this out. The person who hit my car, she was working Uber Eats. So her personal insurance is Progressive. So Progressive, they were on point. I love you, Progressive. She was just like very nice. She handled it. She said, well, because she was working and because it was Uber Eats at the time, we cannot handle it because Uber Eats have their own insurance. I said, okay, great. That's fine. That's perfectly understandable. So they forwarded me over to this other person. Her name is Amanda. I'm not going to say anything else about her name, but I did find her on Facebook, and I was like, should I go there? Because I didn't know that claims expire. So she reaches out to me while I'm at work and I was like unaware what was happening. Like my friends like, they eventually may reach out to you, but keep in mind. So okay, all right, like I'm thinking just like what Progressive did, that they'll reach out to me and we build a rapport and she'll call me back. So that's not what happened. She calls me and she starts asking all these questions. I'm like, I'm at work right now, I really can't talk to you, we're really busy, we're so busy that I should not be out here on my phone. I'm in front of the house, like I can't be, I have to talk, I have to stand my post. So she's like, okay, understandable, great. Then she proceeds to ask me a question, and as she asked the question, it was like a way to continue the conversation. I'm just like, so I had to be firm and stern with her, like, I just told you that I can't talk right now, you have to call me back. So she's just like, okay, sure. And when I heard that sass and the sure, I was like, see, now I know I got somebody that's gonna play with my time, gonna play with my money, and gonna play with my feelings, and then we just gonna go back and forth. Because if you wanna be petty, I'm a team player. We can be team petty. So, from her being team petty, I'm just like, okay. So that was a Thursday. I got off at 5. I was expecting a call back, right? I didn't get a call back, I didn't get an email, and I didn't get a text. So I'm like, okay. So I call the following day, because when I called the number that she called me from, the voicemail said, hi, you reached Amanda, I only work from 7:45 until 4:45. So by the time I got out of work, it's 6 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, this is totally understandable, it's whatever. Mind you, it already has been a week since my car has been hit, and she's just now hitting me up. So I'm like, okay. As you guys probably already know, I have multiple jobs. I don't do one job. I do 2 or 3, depending on like whatever mood hits, right? So with that being said, I call back on Thursday, no response. So I call Progressive and I'm like, hey guys, I'm just trying to figure out what's happening, what's going on. Why is no one responding back to my calls? And that's when Progressive actually informed me of said situation before I knew about, oh, they have insurance for Uber Eats versus insurance that's personal. So I'm like, okay. So Saturday and Sunday happens. There's no response, obviously, because she works from Monday to Friday, 7:45 to 4:45. I'm like, okay. So I call her Monday. I get no response. Called her twice. I believe I called her twice. Then from there, I called her on Tuesday, 7:45, 7:50. No response. So I said, okay, whatever. Then I'm a home health aide, so one of the personnels from the organization that I work for, she calls me. She's like, hey, I know that you said that you needed or that you prefer to do overnight. So I'm like, okay, great, because you know, anybody who's a home health aide, you know that overnight positions, they pay really well. And like, you have to be up, but you just have to be alert and assertive with the person, making sure that they're still alive, making sure that if they void themselves, that they have to clean themselves. So I'm like, okay, great. I had to decline that because I don't have my car to go to these positions. And on top of that, the company is cracking down on Ubering people to places. But I mean, they live in Rockland County and I'm all the way in Yonkers / Westchester / like the Bronx. So then from there, she's just like, call me back, let me know what's happening with the situation with your car, because I told her like, oh my god, someone hit my car, it's in a lot right now, I don't know how to get there, can you Uber me there and back? She was just like, no, because they're cracking down, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, it's okay. So that was like nearly $200 that I had to turn away. So I'm like, damn, like this is aggravating. So then I call her back, Amanda from Liberty Mutual. I call her back. Chick does not respond whatsoever. So now I'm like really perturbed because I keep calling this representative who works from the hours of 7:45 to 4:45 and this chick does not answer whatsoever. So now I'm starting to be really petty because you just made me miss some money, and girl, my bills are expensive. I have expensive taste, I got bills, and I do not like to be late on stuff, even though occasionally, you know, sometimes we are, but you know, that's because of my doing, not because someone is manipulating the situation so that I can't. And the fact that I personally think she's being petty because it's like, okay, let's say that she actually is this busy, right? There was no call back, there was no email, there was no text message, and there was no follow-up for someone in her organization. Like, if you guys work in the same office, why couldn't somebody talk to me? Why couldn't somebody say something at all? So now, I done missed a damn days of work. So we go from Tuesday to Wednesday. Now I'm really perturbed, because guess what? Guess who called me? Guess. Just come on, say it all to yourselves. Yes, my organization to take care of the elderly called me back. And they're just like, hey, so did you get the situation with your car fixed? Because like, we have 2 more days with the same person, so in total that would have been 3 days. I'm like, really? Like, yes, the person who normally takes care of him isn't able to do it, and he said really good things about you last time, so are you able to take the case? And I'm like, no, my car is still indisposed. So now, because it's Wednesday and I got this call at 8 o'clock, I am calling her every half an hour. Every half an hour, I'm calling this woman. Because I'm like, what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna ignore me, and you're not gonna keep making me miss money, and you're not gonna keep like being petty. I was working just like how you work, and I wasn't available at the freaking moment, so why aren't you answering your phone? Isn't this what you do? Isn't this your job to answer the phone? So, towards the end of the day, because I'm at work and I'm constantly stepping out to make this phone call, I'm just like, I can't talk to her. And even when I press 0 to get like someone else from the office, they don't respond. So after calling literally all day, every half an hour to get to this woman, I decided to do a little Facebook search. And my suspicions about her were right. If you know, you know. Anyway. So with that being said, like, I wound up Googling the corporate number, and I wound up getting somebody who is just as useless as she was. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm normally not this much of a bitch when it comes to customer service because I love customer service. But when you fail to literally assist somebody who's in need, it's not a want, it's a need. Because who's paying for this car to be in this pound? Who's paying for the repairs if the claim doesn't go through? Or like you decide like, oh, he took too long, so he's not getting it. Like who's paying for it? Because I'm not paying for it, because when I wasn't there. So that's, no, we're not doing that. We're definitely not doing that. So then, the person's like, hey, how can I help you? I think he was like 25 and under, because he kept puffing up. I was like, I have a problem. You're gonna have to help me with this, because I just don't know what to do. And nobody seems to be answering the phone. So he was like, I said, what's the problem? He said, no, I just have a problem now because you have a problem and I just want to help you. I'm like, okay, great, so help me. So long story short, with this little stitched together, he was absolutely no help. He was like, I can call her if you want. I was like, bro, I called her like several times today. I even called her from different phone numbers and this woman still didn't answer. And you calling her isn't gonna help much. Isn't gonna help at all. Even when I called the other numbers in the office, it didn't help. So you calling ain't helping nothing. So he was like, oh, do you want her manager's name? I said, do me a favor. Tell me something that I can't do myself with a Google search. So I was like, can you call corporate? Like people who are above her? And he was just like, no, what I can do is give you the number. I said, so can you call and we both get on the phone so that there could be some type of consistency here? He's just like, no, this is Liberty Mutual, FYI. You know, I thought they were great based off the commercials. Obviously advertising is a lie. So he's like, no, I'm not at Liberty. Funny, right? Liberty Mutual. I'm not at liberty to call. I can't really talk to you guys because that's not what I do. So what the fuck do you do? Like, what do you get paid for to do? Like, you're just useless at this point because you can't even make a phone call. So my friend was on the other line with me because he was the one that was in an accident. So I had him on three-way just to clarify any details that I may have incorrectly said, because obviously I wasn't there. I was in New York getting drunk and painting. See, can't even have stuff to yourself. Anyway, so with that being said, I was doing what I was doing. I called the, let's backtrack. All right, after talking to this guy and giving him a stern piece of my mind, because like he was useless, no help at all. Like, I don't want to be mean, I don't want to be rude. And yes, I understand there are limits to what a person can do within their job description. But at the same time, like, whatever happens to go above and beyond, because I'm pretty sure like if it was a different situation, he would have been helped. Like, how could you? So I was like, you know what? Can I be assigned somebody else? Because this person obviously isn't doing their job. He was like, no, once the person is assigned your case, they have to see it all the way through. And I said, even if they're not answering their phone or doing their jobs. So I was really annoyed at this point, and my mouth got slick. And I let him know, like, do me a favor, just call, give me the number and just get off the phone with me. Because at this point, you're not helping me. You're not. And it's like, okay, I get it. You can only help with what you can help. But he wasn't even throwing out suggestions. Like, I literally had to pick his brain for things to help me. But I'm calling you to help me, and I'm helping me by asking you questions that you should be already giving me. Like, how does that even make any sense? So, after just letting him know, like, you're not helpful, like, you're not helping me, and all his huffing and puffing, because that's really what got me so annoyed with him, and that's really what got me, like, letting him a piece of my mind, because every other sentence of, like, me trying to help myself in a respectful manner at first, it was just like, like, am I bothering you? Like, did you not know how to do your job? And I've noticed that, not coming from people in California, but I've noticed that a lot of that type of, like, level of customer service where, like, it's very nonchalant, or, like, somebody's bothering you, even the huffing and puffing, every time I get a customer, like, representative who does that, they're from California. Like, is that how you guys do business out there? Like, and people are like, no, Californians are great. I'm like, I don't know. Based off of what I hear over the phone, I don't think so. But, you know, this is not me coming from them. This is just my experience with that. And I'm just like, oh my God. Nobody wants to deal with this.